Korea, there is an elite school called Muyong High School, a place where children from wealthy and influential families get their education. Behind the prestige and glamour of this school, there is a student named Han Soo-kang, known for being arrogant and cruel. He constantly stirs up trouble, bullies, and humiliates students he sees as weaker than him. Strangely, the school administration seems to pretend not to notice. The staff and teachers turn a blind eye, afraid of clashing with Soo-kang's powerful family. One of his most frequent victims is a student named Go Jin-hyung. Almost every day, Soo-kang and his gang torment Jin-hyung, pushing him around and breaking him down. Their cruelty is so bad that at one point their actions are secretly recorded by a girl named Eun-gyo. In the middle of this toxic environment, a new face arrives, a trainee teacher named Si-min, who has just been assigned to Muyong High School. She tries to stay kind, adapt to the new surroundings, and do her job as best as she can, hoping that one day she will get a recommendation to become a full-time teacher. One day, while in the school restroom, Si-min accidentally overhears two senior teachers, Hyo-hee and Young-woo, talking about the previous teacher who used to sit at her desk. Curious, she looks it up on the internet. She is shocked when she learns that the teacher died as a result of the pressure and bullying from the students at that very school. What makes it worse is that the other teachers treat this kind of tragedy as something normal, something that just happens. While walking down the hallway, Si-min is suddenly called by another senior teacher, Jae-kyung. In her office, Jae-kyung shows her the dark side of Muyong High School, including a video recording from the previous year that shows Soo-kang and his gang bullying an elderly kimbap seller. Fortunately, the woman's grandson comes to help her, and that grandson turns out to be Jin-hyung. Because of that moment, Jin-hyung becomes their next main target. On top of that, he is only at the school on a scholarship, so Soo-kang looks down on him as poor and insignificant. Si-min is both shocked and furious, but Jae-kyung advises her not to get involved. She can only nod, even though her heart is restless. She knew this could not stay quiet for long. This is Brave Citizen.
너 뭐냐?
누구한테 맞았대요?
고양이 탈을 쓴 남자한테 맞았대.
That night, we see Si-min at a boxing gym. It turns out that besides teaching, she also works there as a boxing instructor. Not long after, her friend Kwon Jung arrives to train with her, now working as a police officer. Here it is revealed that Si-min used to be a talented athlete in judo and taekwondo, and she was once expected to win a gold medal in boxing. Sadly, that dream fell apart when her father, Yong Taek, fell deep into debt, and Si-min had to surrender her savings to save the gym from being seized. Thanks to her hard work over the past 10 years, the gym is still standing. After finishing training, Si-min finds several animal masks in the gym. She is a bit confused, but Kwon Jung guesses that they are her father's collection, masks he used to take from the children who trained there. The next day at school, Si-min keeps trying to maintain a good impression. Even when she catches a few students smoking, she stays quiet to protect her chances of earning a permanent teaching position. Meanwhile, Soo-kang and his gang disable the school's CCTV cameras so they can harass Jin-hyung again. Si-min sees what they are doing and remembers Jae-kyung's warning not to get involved. But when their behavior crosses the line, she can't hold back anymore and steps in. At that moment, a student named Bon-in approaches her and warns her that Soo-kang's family is extremely powerful. His father is the chief prosecutor, his mother is a lawyer, and his uncle works in the police force. With that kind of influence, it is nearly impossible for Soo-kang to face any consequences. Si-min hesitates, but she quickly comes up with her own plan. She pretends to take a phone call, walks toward the group, and when Soo-kang is about to kick Jin-hyung, she strikes his leg to stop him. She then calmly ends the situation, tells Jin-hyung to return to class, and even apologizes to Soo-kang as if nothing happened. The act catches him off guard. His plan is ruined, and he grows suspicious of who Si-min really is. His friend Moon-ki tells him she is the new teacher who replaced the one who died because of their bullying. Hearing that sends Soo-kang into a rage, and he warns Moon-ki never to bring it up again. Later that night, we see another part of the story unfold. A student named Byung-jin, who works part-time delivering fried chicken, practices boxing in between his shifts with a man named Yong Taek. Yong Taek is actually Si-min's father. The restaurant he works at is owned by a former boxer, and during training, Yong Taek briefly mentions a young boxer whose career was destroyed because of her father's mistakes. It is his way of talking about himself without saying it directly. The following day, Si-min checks on Jin-hyung again. He explains that he already tried reporting everything to the school, but none of the teachers dared to act because they feared Sukang's family. Even the police refused to help without solid evidence. Jin Hyung insists he does not want to transfer to another school. He only wants Sukang to be punished for what he has done. He pleads with Si-min, putting her in an even deeper moral dilemma. Meanwhile, Sukang's parents work hard to protect his reputation, sending gifts of food to the teachers so that most of them continue to ignore his behavior. That night at home, Si-min keeps thinking about Jin Hyung's situation. Her mind drifts back to the day she lost the women's boxing finals. Her father had exploded in anger, saying she should have won easily. In his disappointment, he even said that his real daughter had died in the boxing ring that day. Back in the present, during lunch break at school, Si-min gathers the courage to approach Sukang and his gang on the rooftop. She tells them to stop bullying other students. But Sukang only grows angry and warns her to stay out of their business if she does not want trouble. After that rooftop incident, the teachers receive a sudden alert from the education committee. It contains a formal report about a student at Muyong High School who has caused serious harm to many students and staff through repeated violence. The news shocks the entire faculty. The principal is furious and demands to know who leaked the information. Not long after, Sukang's stepmother and his uncle storm into the school in rage. All the teachers stay silent, too afraid to speak up. In the middle of that tension, Si-min steps forward and admits that she was the one who filed the report. Sukang's stepmother strikes her on the head.
근본도 없는 기집애 같으니라고. 죄송합니다, 어머님.
But Si-min stays quiet, knowing she has no power to fight back against a family like theirs. Inside the principal's office, Sukang demands to know what will happen to her. When the principal says she will be fired, Sukang kicks him and insists she stay. The principal, terrified of losing his position, immediately gives in. Outside the school, Si-min vents her frustration to Kwon-jung. He explains that the situation is far more complicated than it seems. Without solid evidence, Jin Hyung's accusations might be dismissed as slander, which could even get him arrested. Hearing that only deepens her sense of helplessness. On her way home, she spots her father picking up the kids after boxing practice. She walks past him without a word, ignoring his attempt to greet her. Later that night, while stopping by a convenience store for ramen, she runs into Sukang and his gang again. They mock her, telling her she will never be able to stand against them. Sukang even tries to harass her. At that moment, she remembers Jae Kyung's warning that fighting him will only pull her into legal trouble, especially with his uncle in law enforcement. Still lost in thought, she accidentally bumps into a drunk man on the street. He lashes out and hits her. That instant triggers something in her. She retaliates and knocks him out cold. That moment becomes a turning point. Si-min realizes she can no longer let injustice slide. She needs a way to fight back. Meanwhile, Sukang and his gang are playing basketball. When another player accidentally bumps into him, he explodes again, and a fight breaks out. Watching from a distance, Si-min sees everything. She puts on a cat mask and steps in, attacking Sukang with precision and ease. Nearby, Byung-jin, out delivering fried chicken, witnesses the scene from afar. Si-min quickly overpowers Sukang, but police sirens interrupt the fight, forcing him and his friends to scatter. The next day, Si-min feels a quiet sense of satisfaction. Word spreads fast. Everyone is talking about a mysterious cat-masked figure who dared to stand up to Sukang. Teachers and students alike see this person as a hero. Sukang, however, is livid. When he sees his desk covered with drawings of the cat mask, he snaps and throws it aside. He storms out of the classroom, dragging his friends with him. Still burning with anger, he gets into his car and drives recklessly, terrifying everyone riding with him. On the other side of the story, Si-min returns to the boxing gym feeling satisfied after finally standing up to Sukang. But Kwon-jung, who has figured out that she is the mysterious cat-masked vigilante, warns her not to continue. He reminds her that there are still safer ways to fight for justice. Meanwhile, Sukang and his gang escalate their cruelty. This time, they force Jin Hyung to walk down a staircase without his shirt, a plastic bag pulled over his head. When he reaches the bottom floor, he runs in terror and stumbles into the fried chicken restaurant where Byung-jin works. The owner, Sang-woo, is shocked and rushes to help him. Panicked, Byung-jin jumps on his motorbike and heads straight to the gym to tell Si-min. She is in the middle of preparing another cat mask when he bursts in and explains what happened. He also admits that he knows she is the masked figure because he was the one who secretly called the police during the basketball court incident. Back at the restaurant, Jin Hyung reaches his breaking point. He grabs a knife and attempts to go after Soo Kang, driven by everything he has endured. At the same time, Soo Kang discovers that Yoon Gyo recorded Jin Hyung being forced down the stairs. Instead of feeling remorse, he enjoys the footage and even asks a friend to edit it for a Facebook upload. Disgusted by his behavior, Eun Gyo walks away from him. Not long after, Seamin puts on her cat mask and heads to a billiard bar where she confronts Soo Kang once again. A fierce fight breaks out between them. During the chaos, Jin Hyung suddenly appears with a knife. Seamin realizes he is trying to stab Soo Kang, and she steps in to stop him. In the struggle, she ends up taking the blade herself and suffers a serious wound. Losing a lot of blood, she is rushed to the hospital. There, her father, Young Taek, is overwhelmed with worry. When he sees her cat mask, his anger surges. Determined to defend his daughter, he puts on the mask and goes straight to confront Soo Kang, challenging him to a fight.
너 뭐야?
용감한 고양이다.
Sometime later, once Seamin feels strong enough, she asks Kwon Jung for permission to leave the hospital. She wants to protect Jin Hong from whatever might happen next. But when she steps out of her room, she finds her father sitting in a chair, bruised and beaten after his confrontation with Soo Kang. Seeing him like that only deepens her anger toward the student who has caused so much damage. On the way home, Seamin's father finally tries to apologize for everything he did in the past. He brings up the day she competed in the national boxing selection. She had been on the verge of winning, but she held back her final punch and lost on purpose. At the time, Young Taek exploded in anger, thinking she threw the match out of weakness. What he did not know was that before the fight, someone approached Seamin with an offer. If she agreed to lose, they would give her enough money to pay off her father's debt. She sacrificed her own future so her father could survive. Young Taek eventually learned the truth, and the guilt has stayed with him ever since. Now he apologizes with complete sincerity. Seamin stays silent, trying to hold back her tears. The next day, Soo Kang and Moon Ki begin to suspect that the cat-masked vigilante might be someone from their own school. They start checking every student's left arm, looking for someone with an injury, but they find nothing. That is, until Soo Kang accidentally spots a mark on Seamin's left arm, a wound she got from bumping into another student. In that moment, everything clicks. He realizes that the person he has been hunting is the new trainee teacher standing right in front of him. Later, Soo Kang walks into the teacher's office and grabs Seamin by her injured arm. He demands to know why she protected him when Jin Hyung tried to attack. She explains that she only wanted to keep Jin Hyung from getting into legal trouble. Her answer frustrates him even more. In a burst of anger, he tries to suffocate her with a plastic bag, but he stops when he notices a flyer for the upcoming school boxing festival. A new idea forms in his mind. He decides to challenge Seamin to a match in front of all the students and teachers, planning to humiliate her publicly. Seamin has no choice but to accept, because if she refuses, Soo Kang will hand over the video of Jin Hyung's attempted attack to the authorities. Not long after, Jin Hyung is seen wandering around the school with the intention of doing something terrible to himself. Thankfully, Seamin arrives just in time. She stops him, reminding him of how deeply his grandmother loves him and begs him to stay alive. Her words finally break through, and Jin Hyung collapses into her arms, crying as he lets go of his despair. The day of the match finally arrives. Word about the showdown between Soo Kang and Seamin has already spread across the school. But most people still have no idea that the fighter behind the cat mask is actually the new trainee teacher. Byung Jin even hands out cat masks to the students as a show of support, hoping this is the moment that ends Soo Kang's reign of fear. When the fight begins, Soo Kang unleashes every bit of martial arts skill he has, dominating the ring. At one point, he manages to pull off Seamin's mask, just enough for her hair to spill out. The crowd gasps as they realize the mysterious vigilante is a woman, the very teacher they see every day. Soo Kang keeps attacking relentlessly, pushing her to the edge. But just when it seems like Seamin is about to lose, she digs deep and turns the fight around, landing a powerful kick straight to his face.
나 포기.
With the momentum finally in her favor, Seamin removes her mask completely, revealing herself to everyone. She is the cat-masked fighter who has been protecting the powerless. Fueled by sheer determination, she knocks Soo Kang down and forces him to his knees right in front of Jin Hyung. She demands that he apologize, but Soo Kang refuses, clinging to his pride until the very end. The story closes with Si-min and Jin Hyung walking into the police station to report him once and for all. Not long after, Yoon-gyo arrives with video evidence of the violence he committed at school. Sometime later, we see Si-min moving on from Muyong High School. She has left the chaos behind and now works as a fitness instructor, starting a new chapter on her own terms. So the moral of the story is, if life gets messy, grab a cat mask and start kicking problems in the face. Just maybe avoid the lawsuits.